Hey guys, Tia here with FitPro talking about back squats today, okay? This is most likely the most complicated move in most people's routines in the gym. I would say 90% of people in your everyday average gym don't do it correctly. A lot of people say squats hurt them, and I would say if it's hurting you, then you're probably missing something. You're not doing it correctly, okay? So we're gonna go through all of your talking points on squats here now, okay? Keeping in mind that there's lots of different squats and there's lots of different types and goals for squats, right? You might be a powerlifter, you might be a bodybuilder, you might be a triathlete, right? You can use the squat pattern in a lot of different ways, but these are your basics for a back squat. And by back squat, I mean the barbell on your back. So let's just start there, okay? As far as bar placement, most people will do better with a high bar, okay? A low bar is a little bit more advanced, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then just go to high bar, okay? High bar is gonna sit pretty much on top of your scapula, right here, okay? A low bar is gonna sit lower than that, okay? Low bar is more for power lifters, okay? But if you're new to squats, start with a high bar, all right? So first, when racking and unracking the bar, number one rule is do it with attitude. Okay, a lot of people get under the bar and they get real shy and real delicate, and they're not sure where they want it, and they pick it up kind of you know, loosey-goosey and shy, and then they reposition the bar once it's on their back. Okay, that is a problem. If you have 100 or 200 pounds on your back and you're repositioning it while it's on you, you're asking for injury, okay? And then second, when people re-rack the bar, they want to come in and they don't want to make too much noise because God forbid, it's a gym, right? So they curtsy and they miss the rack and they get real timid and just cut that shit out, okay? When you rack and unrack the bar, walk forward, drop it down, make some noise. It's a gym, for God's sake, okay? So number one, rack and unrack the bar with attitude, okay? Not saying go kamikaze and, you know, jerk it off the rack, but do it confidently, okay? That's number one. Number two, while we're talking about the rack position, all right, so come close. So I want you to see where the bar is sitting on me right there. It's sitting on top of my shoulder blades, okay? It's not sitting on top of the vertebrae right there, okay? A lot of people, when they first start back squatting, they've got the bar on their vertebrae, and that is obviously not the right place. It's very uncomfortable, okay? So get the bar on your shoulder blades. There's a nice little shelf right there where, moving on to the next point, number three, your hand placement. Okay, let me drop my pen. Your hand placement, all right, you do not want to be holding the bar like this in your wrists, okay? The bar should sit so nicely on that little shelf, okay, that you don't even need your hands to go through the full squat, okay? You should just be locking the bar in with your hands this way, okay? Pushing this way, not underneath it like so, okay? So, we talked about bar placement, we talked about hand placement, all right? So once your hands are on the bar, you want to create torque, okay? Break the bar. This is a common cue that we use on your squat, on your bench press, on any move where there's a bar in your hands, which is a lot of moves in the gym, right? So when the bar is on your back like this, you want to snap the bar like so, okay? That's gonna create torque through your shoulder blades. That is what you want. That is a missing cue in a lot of people's squat, okay? So we've got the bar in the right spot, we're racking and unracking properly, and we've got the right torque in the hands. The hands are not under the bar, they're behind the bar, okay? From there, we're gonna go to footwork, okay? So this is a big topic, all right? There's a lot of ways that you can do your feet. Come in close right here. So you can do toes straight. You can do toes out. You can do a sumo squat. You can do a narrow squat. You can do heels elevated. There's a lot of ways to do squats, and all of them are right. It's just a matter of what are you trying to do with your squat, right? The different stances just change the musculature, okay? So with your basic 101 bread and butter squat, we're gonna go hips, feet just outside of where the hips are, okay? So right about here. If you're more advanced and you're more familiar with squats, you can start to explore sumo squats, you You can explore close squats and heels elevated squats, but for most people, the bread and butter 101 squat starts with feet about hip width, okay? From here, we talk about toes turning in or out. Generally, a toe turnout of 10 to 15 degrees is acceptable. If you're having to go wider than 10 to 15 degrees, if you have to get your squats correct, then most likely you've got a mobility issue there that you're overcompensating for, okay? So toes should be no more than 10 to 15 degrees out, but individual variance will occur, right? So somebody might squat better with 10 degrees out versus 0 degrees out, okay? So somewhere between 0 to 15 degrees toe turnout is acceptable. All right, so next topic, shins forward or straight up. This you're gonna hear a lot of debate about this. Should the shins be perfectly straight up? How much forward variance is acceptable, okay? You're gonna hear a lot about this. Generally speaking, most people shouldn't be further than the toe, okay? So right about there. If you're having to go further forward on the shin, at the bottom of your squat, either you shouldn't be going that low or there's a mobility issue there that you need to look at, okay? There is gonna be some variance. Some people are able to squat with shins relatively perpendicular. Some people need to, in order to get the bottom of the squat, and it's perfectly acceptable for them to do so, they can get the shins about there. So use your own judgment. If your knees are hurting at the bottom of your squat, that's probably too far forward on your knees. But if you squat pain-free and there's some travel forward of the patella, that's probably acceptable, okay? As you can see, the squat is really complicated. There's a lot of individuality to how we set up your squat. Generally, if you're racking the bar correctly, you're in the right spot. You have the right torque, you have good footwork, and your knees aren't going too far forward. Last piece is chin neutral. I have a whole separate video about this, okay? But at the bottom of your squat, you better not be here, okay? I have a whole different video that you can watch and you can figure out why that's so bad, okay? But if the chin is neutral and all the other pieces are in place, my squat looks like this.
What's really good with the previous is
And up, okay? Ass to grass is not necessary, all right? I'll make a different video about that, okay? But ass to grass is not necessary, all right? If you're keeping all the constants together that we've talked about in this video, my squat looks like this, and I'm not ass to grass, all right? If you put all of that together with weight, you're gonna do well on the squat. You're gonna do better than 95% of people that squat in the gym, okay? Check out our other videos on ways to pick up your squat otherwise, but put these together and you'll be ahead of most people.